Good morning everyone, guess where we are today? I'm back on the 406. I'm heading back to Kingston on this lovely early August evening in 2025. Hope everyone's all keeping well and hope you can hear me okay on this vehicle. This is an Enviro 400 that I'm travelling on Route 406 from Worcester Park through to Kingston. So we're on the Kingston Road heading towards Tolworth. So we've got Tolworth Tower just here in the middle of your screen, coming into view. As the light is slowly starting to fade on this lovely August evening. So we're coming up to the junction with Jubilee Way on our left hand side. Jubilee Way, that takes you down towards Chessington Industrial Estate. So very shortly we'll be passing underneath the Chessington branch of South Western Railway's Chessington Drive from Volvo Park to Chessington underneath this stone bridge. Just on the left there, that's the terminus for Route 281, where there's one of the BCE buses in the terminus on Route 281 there. And over there, there's Tolworth Station in its 1930s Art Deco finery. Tolworth Station, which was built in 1939 by the Southern Railway. And that's the new southern terminus of Route 281. Route 281, which goes all the way down to Hounslow bus station. There's Tolworth Tower there in the middle of your screen, and on the left hand side there's the Hollywood bowling alley. Back in the 90s it used to be called the Charrington Bowl. I should know because I used to do 10-pin bowling. I used to love doing 10-pin bowling there back in the day. So this is the famous Tolworth roundabout that we're coming to. There's another Waitrose lorry along with the K1 on its way to Kingston via Surbiton, going the long way round. So there's Tolworth Tower in the middle there. Tolworth Tower, which was built in 1962. It used to be an office development, but now it's all empty. There's the A3 down there, that's heading towards the direction of Guildford and Portsmouth, so that's the A3 over there in all its finery. Then you've got the A3 over that way, and that takes you towards central London. So at the Tolworth roundabout, we shall shortly be turning left into the Broadway itself, here in Tolworth. There's a closer view of Tolworth Tower in all its 1960s majesty. Yes, I am being sarcastic. This is Tolworth Broadway we're coming into now. You've got one of the road humps along here. Kingston Council are obsessed with road humps. So this is Tolworth Broadway, with its parade of shops and restaurants and supermarkets and what have you. I'm travelling on Route 406 from Worcester Park towards Kingston, and many years ago the 406 used to be a green bus route which ran all the way from Redhill to Kingston, but since 2000 the route only goes between Epsom and Kingston, and it's now operated by red buses instead of green buses. It's starting to get dark now, all the street lights are slowly starting to come on as we head north towards the direction of Surbiton. Remember a few weeks ago I did this same journey and the sun was still setting. Well, now it's getting darker because of course as August comes to the night starts to slowly draw in now by 2 minutes. So we'll be getting a rare chance to see Kingston and Surbiton under lamplight, which is still an amazing sight to behold. So this is now the Ewell Road. We've got Princes Avenue to our left and Elgar Avenue to our right. Just shortly coming up on the right hand side is the Little Green, which used to be the terminus for the 603 shuttle bus route, although that's now used by the 265 route from Putney Bridge. This hideous building on the left hand side, that used to be the old Red Lion Public House, which got demolished to make way for these horrible block of flats in Sainsbury's local.
406 to Kingston.
As you can see, this road is a pretty wide street. It's a pretty wide road, Ewell Road. And up until 1962, this would have been where trolleybus routes 601 and 603 would have operated. 601 became the 281, which still runs today between Tolworth Station and Hounslow Bus Station, by the likes of Kingston, Hampton Wick, Teddington, Twickenham and Whittam. So yeah, all the street lights are coming on now, which makes for a nice ambience to this video, to be honest. Straight up ahead, that's the junction with Kingsdown Road. That's St Matthew's Church on the left hand side. That's steeple there. That's the steeple of St Matthew's Church, which is a well-known southern Surbiton landmark. That road leading off on the left hand side, that's Kingsdown Road itself. We go straight on up the hill towards the eastern part of Surbiton. So that's Kingsdown Road up there. So we're going to go up this hill. Apologies of all these vibrations and loud noises, but these Enviro 400s are well known for this sort of thing. Not my favourite type of buses, but hey ho, needs must. Nice quiet Thursday evening here in Surbiton. So we're coming up to the eastern end of Surbiton now. 281 passing us. 281 on the remainder of its journey to Tolworth, and a 418 on its journey to Epsom. 418 also originally being a green bus route up until 2000, when it became part of the TfL route network like the 406 did. So if you came down this street back in the early to mid 70s, you would have had green route masters on route 406 and green single deckers on route 418. Now about to pass the Surbiton Health Centre on our left hand side. This formerly being the old Surbiton Hospital, so that's the old gatehouse there, the Art Deco gatehouse to the old Surbiton Hospital, which is still there, along with the Art Deco lettering saying Surbiton Hospital. Planning on doing is getting off at Kingston Cromwell Road bus station and getting the train to Wimbledon Kingston station. Coming up on the right hand side there's Kingston Fire Station, which was originally part of the Surrey Fire Brigade until 1945, when it got taken over by what is now the London Fire Brigade. This building on the right hand side, that's the Surbiton Telephone Exchange. Seconds we're going to go over the southwestern main line from London Waterloo out towards Woking and Portsmouth and Southampton. There's the LSWR main line just there. There's Surbiton station in the distance there. And then at this junction we go straight ahead into Surbiton Hill Road. If you turn left, that takes you down into Surbiton Town Centre. We avoid Surbiton Town Centre as we go down this street here, which is Surbiton Hill Road. So we now start this leafy section of Surbiton Hill Road as we go down the hill. Nice leafy part of Surbiton, this area, although it is a bit lonely late at night. Left hand side as we head towards the direction of Kingston. Very shortly we're about to come into Penryn Road, or as I call it, Penguin Road. We come into southern outskirts of Kingston. So this is the Kingston and Surbiton borders along here. So this is Penguin Road, or Penryn Road. Keeping out of trouble and mischief on this fine evening in August 2025.
Kingston University, County Hall.
Very shortly we're about to pass Kingston University just here on the right hand side, the main Kingston campus. Normally during the daytime this road is very busy with buses, cars, lorries, vans, all sorts of different traffic on this road. Coming up on the left hand side, that is the old Kingston County Hall buildings, which is going to be redeveloped into a luxury housing accommodation. And as you can see, these tall buildings in the distance as we Kingston that we're coming into, along with the famous college roundabout, and the famous paper aeroplane sculpture in the middle of the road. There's a paper aeroplane sculpture, and we cross over the Hogs Mill River, which is just down here. There's the Hogs Mill River. Very shortly at this junction we're going to be turning left into Brook Street, which is where the 65 terminates on its long journey from Ealing, Broadway, Brentford, Kew and Richmond. There's the 65 just there on the left hand side. So this is the northern end of Brook Street as we come into Kingston town centre. There's the Eden Walk shopping centre straight in front of us in all its 1970s splendour. We've got number 71 on its way to Chessington World of Adventures, passing us on the right hand side. So that's the rest of Eden Street down there, that's looking west. That's where the old branch of Model Zone used to be, and BT's before that, where I used to get all my stuff from my model railway layout back in the days. So that's the Eden Walk shopping centre on the left hand side. We've got another bus about to pass us on route 371 and another bus on route 406. And one of the out of town bus routes on the 458 Staines, or as I call it, St Danes. So this is Kingston Eden Street bus stop, just here on the left hand side, along with the famous rainbow crossing. I'll just zoom in a bit if I can. There's the famous rainbow crossing. Because Kingston's a very LGBT friendly town. So this is where we join up with Clarence Street. On the left hand side that's Castle Street, just behind those trees, behind the traffic lights, that's Castle Street. So this is the junction of Clarence Street, and there's the famous out of order sculpture. Traffic lights are all there, so that might give me an excuse to zoom in. There we are, there's the famous out of order telephone box sculpture in the centre of the video, made up of 12 toppling former GPO K6 telephone boxes. There's the SL7 Superloop bus service, which goes from West Croydon all the way to Heathrow Airport. Very useful bus service that, serving the southwestern outskirts of London. So yeah, there's the famous out of order telephone box sculpture just there in the middle of your screen. And that was erected back in 1989, and it's been there ever since. And it's since become a local landmark in Kingston, and quite rightly too, I think. Passing the Prison nightclub, which is undergoing refurbishment at the moment, on the right hand side, along with the Kingston Odeon, which used to be the old Kingston bus station garage. And as you can see, it's getting rather dark now. Either it's getting dark or we might be getting a few heavy showers coming our way, who knows. Just behind the traffic lights there's Kingston Station. Kingston Station, rebuilt by the Southern Railway back in 1935. So if you go up that way, that's Wood Street, that takes you towards Kingston Bridge and Hampton Wick. If you keep going straight ahead that way, that takes you up towards Richmond and Ham Common. Yes, lots of people eat it. Walls! So we're now turning right into Cromwell Road. We're very shortly we have to get off the bus because it terminates at the bus station just coming up on the left. That's Cromwell Road bus station. There's a 111 coming out on its way to Heathrow Airport. 3 ones. So very shortly I'll have to get off this bus. As you can see, I've got the whole top deck of this bus to myself. Happy days. So we're now coming into Cromwell Road bus station, where we have to say goodbye to the party, but we can still continue vlogging as we head down. Down we go. Cheers, drive, as they say in Bristol. So now we're going through the sacred cloisters of Kingston bus station on this fine evening. There's a 281 there going to Tolworth, and we'll have another look at this superb TfL clock, which I absolutely adore. So what we can do is we're going to zoom in a bit, check out the clock. There we go. You can't really see it with the. We'll just about make it out with the fluorescent lighting, but that's one of my TfL clocks there. So we're now on Cromwell Road. There's the Kingston Odeon, which used to be the old Kingston bus garage and Kingston bus station. Over on the right hand side used to be the old Smokebox model shop, where I used to frequent back in the 80s and 90s with my dad in tow occasionally. There's one of the Falcon buses there on the out of town route. That's the 461, I think it is. That's the bus route that goes from Kingston up to Chertsey, which is not a TfL bus route. I call it the out of towner because it doesn't take TfL fares. Yep, it's a 461, or as we call it, the 461 Ocean Boulevard. So I'll just zoom in a bit. So that's the 461 there. Slightly fuzzy because it's evening now, but that's the 461 that takes you to Chertsey. So what we're going to do, we're going to knock the video off in a minute. We're just going to get this 65. There's a 65 on the remainder of its journey into Kingston, from places such as Richmond and Kew and Ealing Broadway. And you've got another 111 here on the start of its journey to Heathrow Airport. So that's Richmond Road over there underneath the railway line. So if you keep going northwards up there, that takes you towards Richmond, and if you keep going westwards along there, that's Wood Street. That takes you towards Hampton Court, Hampton Wick and Teddington and other exotic places. And that's the route we've just came from there. There's the Kingston Rotunda Centre, which was built on the site of the old Kingston bus station and bus garage. There's a 213 on its way to Sutton. So that's got a bit of a long journey up in front of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into Kingston Station, where I'm going to get my train to Wimbledon. Do excuse the motorbikes, they're very noisy. So this is Kingston Station. So I'm going to get my train to Wimbledon. There we go, touched in. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to platform 3. Because platform 3 is where the trains to London Waterloo leave from. Platform 2 is where the trains towards Shepperton and Teddington and Richmond leave from. So we go up this long ramp. Pardon me. It means I've had a good tea tonight. Lols! See what time my next train back to Wimbledon will be. So So here we are at platform level. This is the platforms at Kingston Station.
2104 South Western Railway service to London Waterloo via Wimbledon has been cancelled. This
Oh,
is
wonderful.
because of a fault on a train earlier. We're sorry that your journey will take longer.
Or as I call it, South Western Railway's excuse is number 501.
Direct service is now expected to be the 2118 to London Waterloo via Wimbledon.
Oh well, that means I've got half an hour. Oh well, such is life. 2118 is my next train. Okay, fair enough. So the 04 has been cancelled due to South Western Railway being total pillocks that they are. Excuses with South Western Railway. But then I've got to use them one way or the other. So yeah, this is Kingston Station looking west. So that's looking west in the direction of the next stop along the line, which is Hampton Wick over the river. And that view over there, that's looking east towards the direction of Surbiton and New Malden. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap up this little vlog here. 26 minutes long, which is normally the length I normally use for vlogs and things. So if I don't see you before, hope you enjoyed the vlog. Keep on YouTubing, keep on vlogging, keep on recording history, because it's all going to be history one fine day, isn't it? So from Kingston Station on this fine evening in August 2025, I shall say ta for the like.